All right, sun's going down, so good time to start a video, right? We're gonna try right after this. Welcome back. If you haven't seen my videos before, Ross the Oliver Man. And this here 1250A has been riding the Sadness Express. It seems like at every turn, it tries to thwart our efforts to help it. So, in our last installment, we discovered that this fuel filter housing here was no good. Let's just pull it off of here right quick, if we can. We might not be able to because of the way that it is. There we go. All right. We discovered that someone had turned it in until they experienced extreme sadness. Then it looks like they tried to fill it with JV Weld and walk away and pretend nothing happened. And for the average person, this would be no problem. Except for us, because we ordered a brand new, nice, beautiful line to replace the cobbled up mess that was on here. And unfortunately, we couldn't use it because it comes up. Maybe. See, what I'm going to do is screw around until I break it. It has to come up on this side, and we didn't have that side anymore because it was broken. They had it over here, which we couldn't do. So then we dug through our parts pile and tried to find filter housings, only to find that we didn't have one exactly right. So I ordered this, a brand new one off the internet. And I will tell you, friends, the quality of this is low. It is not very good quality. I don't know why. Oh, well, I guess I do know why, because it was made in the land of Chinesium. But it even came with a little filter, so we will use that, but we got to put our glass bowl on the bottom instead. So we'll have to swap that. We're also going to need a plug, because we need the plugs. We need to move this plug here that it came with to the other side. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? We got to have, and of course we don't have. Here I thought I was going to be clever and have everything we needed. But that ain't going to happen. Friends, it's just not. It never does. Alright. The casting here, let's move you out there first. Uh-oh, that's very tight. And that's not good. We don't want... Okay. Do we risk tightening the bolts on there to get that loose? Or what do we do here? We think about it a minute. That should not be that tight on there, friends. It's only doing this to me because I'm trying to hurry up before the sun goes down. So this is okay. I'm losing my temper, but here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna put this on the tractor, and then we'll end up taking it right back off again so we can get to it. But we got to have something to clamp this to hold it for us so we don't break our brand new filter housing. It ain't much, but it's ours, so we want to love it appropriately. And my big beef with it is the sealing surfaces on it are not machined very nice. They are actually like, they're very poorly made. I know that's gonna surprise you, but it's like they didn't leave enough meat around the edges, I feel like, for what we got going here. Also, I see that this is a problem. Like they put extra meat here so you couldn't get this where you needed to go. It's just amazing, friends, how places like to just make us work as hard as possible. Well, there's a test fit. That's pretty. We did all of that just so we could simply take this out, which is now also not going to work because of the line on the injection pump immediately behind it. Boy, isn't that good when you loosen something and then metal filings come out behind it? Friends, doesn't that just make you smile? I'm kind of worried now that what we got going here is not gonna... Awesome, friends. This is not working at all. Why did it do that? Well, I guess what that was the super cheap crush washer they used that was like an aluminish material. So that didn't do us any favors. Let's take inventory of what we've got over here. We need this bolt for this, and then that should go into there. Should we double check and make sure before we get all carried away that this is gonna go? That back one will go into there. We're gonna need this plug, and then we're gonna need another plug, which we have one on this old one, but it doesn't appear to have a washer on it either. So what gives, friends? What gives? We're just having a great day. Oh, friend, let's see. What could we do here to, other than just start crying? Well, we need to take that back off again because we got the thing done that we needed to do. Then we need to hunt up one more plug and some copper washers to make this go. And that shouldn't be a big deal because I should have somewhere right around here that destroyed filter housing that we saved off that other 1365, and I saved it for the very reason of stuff like the hardware in it, you know, because otherwise the housing is garbage and useless. But if we have the correct hardware, we can make our life complete here. All right. Now, I'm kind of concerned about, let me go grab that other one and then I'll bring you back. All right, friends. Looking at this, I'm not entirely sure that the plugs actually had copper washers, but I'm gonna put some on. I think that will make things more nicer. And then also what it will do is it will help keep the spacing so we don't have the same problems like we just had with the other filter housing where somebody cranked her down until the end of time and then sadness happened, you know. And we kind of got to be careful because this new housing is way softer feeling than the original. I think that this is, I don't know what they made it out of, but the original piece is probably made out of virgin aluminum, and this is probably made out of recycled pop cans. That's what it feels like. But I got the two plugs in the back tight. Got that tight, or tight-ish. I just want it all mocked up here a little bit, and then we'll do the thing, friends. Then we'll do the thing. I mean, this was a running tractor until we started trying to make it better, and then we eventually knutsened ourselves. And see, that's an example of, I think I'm gonna end up breaking that aluminum if I go too much, because I have that bad habit of wrenching down on aluminum, or on anything for that matter, thinking I can get it just a little bit more tight, and then end up making it worse. Now we have to... Oh, I also need to find an actual throttle linkage. This tractor's missing it. Somebody homemade a piece of wire, which it works, but it's not nearly as rigid, and it looks ridiculous. I mean, they did a decentish job of getting the right shape, but all right. You were in the way. See, this is what's going to be the problem now. Does Ross go probably out here? And what I did wrong was I should have put the wires behind. Yeah, probably, right? Should have put the wires behind the... I don't know. You can't see what I'm talking about, but the homemade throttle rod and this fuel line are not playing happy times together. It's going to be in the way. I don't like that. I bet that that's supposed to... Let's put this over top. It's so silly, but especially since that's homemade, that throttle rod, but I am disappointed, and I'm happy that they still make a line to change this, but I'm not happy with the material, because we went from an original metal line to this rubbery, plasticky, whatever that is. I mean, it will work, but ooh, it's the idea, friends. There. Now, you say we're done, and I say, nope, you're not done. We have got to we got to take the filter off so we can switch to the glass base, because I want to be able to see what kind of trash I've accumulated. This is the base that you would use for the one that's up under the hood, but that ain't what we're doing here. So is this gonna, am I gonna have enough clearance to do this or not? Probably not, but it's a nice thought. So far, parts interchangeability is going great. I'm sure that will soon stop, but come on out of there. Come on out of there. There we go. All those brand new. Watch me see that. Oh, yeah, this is gonna have to change the bolt, the whole, that shebang, because let me get the other one off. The other one is made different. Oh, I just covered myself with nasty, yucky diesel fuel. So stupid. So stupid. All right. See, here's what we're gonna have. Let's get you a little more view. We gotta have this bottom bowl because it's glass. We're gonna clean it, of course. And then we need to get the bolt out of the top of it because it is shorter, see? Oh my goodness. Stuff is coming apart today, way different than normal. I've never had a filter come loose like that. Okay. All right. I sure hope that that is actually going to seal down in there. I bet it's not. Looks like they changed it a little bit, didn't they? They changed it to make our life rough. We're gonna have to have the O-ring, definitely, that goes down in there. which ain't even the right size O-ring now then, I guess. Is it? I don't know. This may or may not work. Now that I see it in action. I got this spacer piece that limits how much, I guess it limits how much happiness we can have in life, it seems like, because it's not working. But it's basically, I think, there so we don't scrunch the glass bowl when we get to that point. Let's clean our glass bowl and get rid of that nastiness, which is going to take a little bit of the old magician's friend, and I don't know if I got that here close by. I hope. Hey, we're getting there. Friends, just calm down. Just calm down. You're getting too excited. I actually wonder, now that I'm looking at this, that's probably not true, but no, that's not true. Never mind. I just had a thought, and that's usually a dangerous thing when that takes place. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna give this a good old spray of environmentally nice, good smelling, great tasting brake clean. Then we're going to drop our brand new housing over there so that destroys itself. This stuff is on here tougher than I thought. Friends, I think we're gonna have a struggle bus. Usually it's not that I don't know, it starts chipping off is what I'm saying. Come on off of there, garbage. It's like scraping the ice off your windshield in winter, but on a miniature scale. All right, what else is next? Well, more of the same. Unfortunately, we can see a little bit of daylight through there, but it is very dirty. More spraying, more scraping, more sadness. All right, come on. Come on, babies. We're getting there. You're running out of SD card time, which means the camera's almost full. So we need to wrap this up pretty quick, probably. Man, just when you think you got it, there's more. All right, let's see. How we doing? Probably good enough for who it's for. Would be nice if it was totally beautiful, but like I said, every time you think you got it, you find more. All right, I think that's adequate enough. We'll put this on here. We'll put that on there. We'll put this on here. We'll see if this will hopefully work. There's no reason why this shouldn't work. Other than that I want it to, you know. Why is that not working? Oh, well, you know what you need in order to make it work? You need to put the screw up the center, friends. The screw that has the opposite set of threads in it. That's probably a very important piece. Yep, that's one of them things that makes you feel pretty dumb. All right, where's our, I thought we had our socket still on there. Let's see if we can. I guess I should have looked around more and just got one that had the glass bowl on it, but I had to hunt around and find one that had the M14 ports. And then that was where we were here, so I was more worried about that than you know what I'm saying. Did I shut the fuel off on this? That's the next affair. Yes, I did. And I thought about changing this transfer pump just for fun, but I thought, well, it was working. Let's ride that pony into the ground. We've had this all the way loose, so there she's filling. Nice, beautiful, clean, red fuel. We should probably also let's loosen the bleeder on this pump. Or let's not. I don't, either way. Either way. When we get the filter full, then it should come spraying out of that other little deal. I hear it returning back in the tank. Our primer arm's about broke off. That's part of why I thought maybe we should swap it, but all right, well, let's roll the dice. It's kind of cold now that the sun's gone down, so I don't know that it will start, but we'll certainly give it a good try after we put all the stuff on the floorboard so we lose it, you know. Let's see, I didn't get a cutoff put on this one yet, so gotta reach through there. It always did fire right up pretty decent-ish. I mean, it would crank super duper slow to start with, and then after a minute it would come to it. Okay. Look at that. It's going to come to life almost immediately. I bragged it too much. Now it won't. Aw. Well, now that's kind of ridiculous, ain't it? I had it made, and then I should have just kept cranking. Okay, let's let it sit a minute. Where did I put the magic sauce? Let's give it a little of that in the fard pounder hole. goes. Like how the wheel turns because it's jacked up, even though it's in neutral. What's going on there is the like the oil drag from the gears in the rear end are making that spin. So if I hold back on it, it quits. But oil drag, yeah, runs pretty good. Sweetheart. Can't wait to get a clutch in that. Then we can use it for something and have some fun. Let's see if we have any leaks. Not yet, but I'm sure we will. Why wouldn't we? But that's nice, a lot more nicer than this cobbled up nonsense with a big hose, and they had this looped around and this was all hanging out in the open. If only they had just went ahead and got the appropriate stuff right away, you know. That's why I need the right throttle rod, because that one doesn't do the thing. You know what I mean? I also need to shorten the fuel stop because it was missing that too, and I had one off of a Parch 1365, but it's this much too long, so we'll just saw it off and then we'll cut some new threads, and I got a different knob we can put on there, and then that'll be good too. But we got her, friends. A brand new $50 fuel housing that we ended up not even using the bottom bowl that it came with, so that's cool. But it's doing what I wanted it to do, and I hope that it keeps up doing what I want it to do. I hope we don't find that this won't work for some stupid reason, like, you know, it starts leaking uncontrollably or what have you. Yeah. I just like how beautiful it runs. Yes, sirree. It runs like a sweetheart. That's a good one. Little Fiat. All right, not bad for a, what did I give for it? $900. So, you know, that's the kind of price where you can afford to throw a little bit of money at it. We threw a lot of money at that grill, but hey, I want them to look nice too. I got another muffler. Whenever we get to that point, we'll get rid of that nonsense there and put on a muffler that matches the others that I've got. We're gonna have to do something with the steering. That steering cylinder is not very good, but I believe I can get that replacement aftermarket. There's another $1,000 bucks, but it might be easier than trying to rebuild this one, because it looks to me like the chrome on the rod is no longer with us. So we'll sort that out when the time comes. That's a later problem. There is oil leaking horrendously, which tells me that the thing also needs probably a rear main seal when we're in there. Hopefully that's all we find wrong in there. And that may be the reason why the clutch doesn't work, you know. It's probably soaked with oil. But that's a problem to discover when we split it. Just having it running is half the battle, you know. Now we'll get it up on 4 legs and when we're done with that, you know, then we can, as soon as we get a free spot inside, we'll tear her down and get the clutch, which that's $1,000 too. I mean, everything's $1,000 these days, friends. So owning tractors is not for the faint of heart. But we'll try to figure out what's so special about that clutch versus all the other Fiat clutches. But yeah, I'm happy. We got the filter housing on and it looks nice, and I think we're one step closer to success. So we'll just keep plugging away at it as I get time. And the biggest thing now is going to be rim repair on that back one. It's not very good. It's not really super bad, but it's bad enough that it's more than just a washer welding. It's going to be a cut out a patch, weld that shut, and then drill a new valve stem hole. But we're making progress, friends, and that's all that matters. After watching what you just saw, do you feel like your IQ has dropped lower than your credit score? Well, there's no reason that both of us should be miserable, so go ahead and hit that thumbs up and leave a comment. That stuff costs you nothing, and it really helps me out. Your banker may not approve, but I know mine will. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.